we always do, I want to welcome y'all to Northwest Arkansas Council on this illustrious day, the 24th of August. This month is almost over, y'all. And we're going to bring it to a close on the next weekend. Actually, next Saturday is the last day of the month. But it's been a hot month, I can tell you that. Very extremely hot month. And to say the least, we had some pretty bad weather conditions also. Rain, I mean to say. It's been an enormous amount of rain that came down within the last, I want to say, week or so. I got reported information that the McCook Reservoir, which is the reservoir where all of our runoff water, rainwater, sewer water goes into, was at 91% capacity, meaning that it was 91% filled. And being that it was 91% filled, it rained again the next day and the next day. So it's probably a little more than that now. Oddly enough, we've experienced just these severe rain conditions or weather conditions, severe rain, water, flooding throughout the city and suburbs in 2023, where many people were just devastated by all of it. And I'm hoping and praying that we do not have that kind of effect to happen again. But when you look at the systems that have been going on and on and on, but at least let's just go back 20 years. It's like this large cloud of moisture that comes in between July and August, and it just dumps the rain, you know? But nevertheless, we can only pray for the best and hope and pray for the best, that is. And I think we're gonna make our way through it. But this is the thing. Everybody talks about, at one point they spoke about global warming and how it wasn't an effect, but now we can plainly see that global warming is a super effect, because these conditions didn't appear let's just say prior to 20 years ago. They just didn't happen like this on this frequency. And I know it's not that we're noticing or we're just paying attention better. I think it's more so that it's just happening. It's happening. You look at the enormous amount of hurricanes that enter the Gulf of Mexico, come around Florida, the Keys, and come into the Gulf. And once it hits the Gulf, it just builds up so much more momentum, and it makes landfall. It hits the land, then it just becomes bigger and bigger and bigger, a bigger push. And then people in the north and northeast, I don't know about the west as much, but it seems like we get it. We catch it all in the Midwest. And then we end up, as we did, with all of those severe flooding conditions. But I think the west side kind of came out unscathed a little bit this time, but the south side of Chicago, it took on quite a bit of water, quite a bit. Near the Midway Airport and further south and further east towards the lake, going towards the lake, east of Midway. Many of the homes over there flooded. And here we are today talking about it like we did back in 2023. And it has to be more than just the reservoirs filling up, because we never hear about suburban areas. We hardly ever hear about Naperville, Bolingbrook, McCook, McCook's right there. You never hear about them filling up. So what is it? What exactly is it where our areas flood? What's happening, Arnold? What you say? Arnold Bearden. Oh.
Hello?
What did you say, Arnold? How'd it go? Everything went pretty good, huh?
Oh man,
Party.
just getting my second win.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they had a pretty tremendous block party yesterday. He had about 3 bands and a lot of food, and everybody came out on the block and did their thing, barbecued and participated. Hey, it's so weird, Arnold. I come on the block now, everybody think I live on the block. Do you live on the block?
Well, like I tell everybody, once you've been on the block now, you're welcome out.
Yeah, right. I'm looking at. They ask me, I'm like, well, you obviously must be new to the block if you don't know that. But again, I get it because it's such a long block. I mean, man.
Yeah, I had 22,000 steps yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
That's a little over 10 to 11 miles.
That's what I'm saying. I think 11,000 steps is 8 miles. About 16 miles.
Yeah.
You went downtown and back.
Yeah, from 53 up to 55 and down there, and everybody having just prayers, fun, food, and you name it.
Yes, indeed. It was a nice day. The weather held up. Everybody came out, participated, as we say, and enjoyed themselves. I went down to 55 and they had the mechanical bull down there.
Yep.
Everybody seemed to have been coming together, having fun, enjoying themselves. So, hey, great neighborhood block party for, over 100 homes.
That was our 44th year.
Oh, wow. 44th year? Yeah, that's a big accomplishment. How long have you been on the block now, Arnold?
Since 70.
Oh, 70, okay. I have some people, you've been there since 69, so, well, hey, same thing. At a certain point, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
You know? But, and you got some of the other block club leaders come out, I see. Ella came out.
Yeah, and I'll exchange information, and get them the format that they could utilize and streamline, that they could just logistically do it in a week's notice. All they had to do just follow that script, and it's on and popping from there.
Right. Well, congratulations on your 44th year of hosting this block party. You've been the one hosting it all those years?
Yeah, it's been a total team effort,
Wow.
We used to shut down from the post office to Central and take out Lockwood between Jackson and Van Buren and Lotus. And the police department kept complaining and threatening to lock me up if I didn't open up. I told them, well, I got permits. I mean, you guys have accessibility if need be, or even if you just wanted to have us open up and then you drive your vehicle down, but we're going to shut it back down after you get by. They
Right.
said, no, that won't work. We just want this street open because it's tying up the whole area. So,
Um, I think they talking about traffic control, huh?
yeah,
'Cause
traffic, and
the second
we
spot-
haven't had one incident, not one incident.
Right. Well, like I said, congratulations on all your efforts and making it happen for 44 years. That's an accomplishment in itself.
And Van Buren, 53, 54,
Uh-huh.
5500 Van Buren is having their event next Saturday. And there was three other ones also yesterday, and they had the Rib Fest going up there.
Yeah, they had it all going yesterday.
Danny Alderman and Ike had their blues thing.
Yeah,
So the area was really one of those situations where it was just things happening everywhere.
yeah. Yeah, I think, people started to look at the fact that, another month or so we'll be getting into the winter months, which is strange because it's like, what happened to fall? It's just like summer, 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 and then boom, winter,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And I don't know, was last winter pretty bad? I can't remember.
No, we haven't really had a bad winter in 6 years, really.
Yeah,
And how I know that, because I've fired up my mini snow blowers and in that length of time. I mean, when you and pull them snow blowers out,
yeah,
tear there, but haven't had it out maybe in the 5, 6 years, maybe 4 times.
mm-hmm. That's amazing that we went through unscathed. But I remember the real big one in 2011 or 2012? We had that real big one that was just, man,
Yeah.
dumped quite a bit of snow. I think people were locked in for a day or so. That was a couple feet. Yeah. Traffic was just backed up like crazy, but hey, we've been through worse, right? The real big one, the real big one was in 79 and was 68.
Yeah.
Was it 68 or 67? 68.
It was 68 or 69.
Yeah, 68. And then the next one was 70, 60, yeah, 78, 78, 79.
78,
Right.
79.
10-year period. Yeah. 10-year period before, well, yeah, 10-year period before all these conditions seem like they come back around. But it's just odd because I'm telling you, we had a lot of heat this month.
Well, that's one reason we started doing it in August, because July was the hot month. We used to do the last Saturday every July, but then we moved it back a month. Of course, school schedules change, but still, when you look at the weather has always been favorable with not having any rain.
Right.
Toward late August.
Yeah. So what else you got going on? I see Ella on. Ella, did you enjoy yourself at Arnold's block party? Ella?
Ella was walking on water.
Oh, yeah. Why they say that? Why you say walking on water?
She was enjoying herself.
Oh, I got what you're saying. Yeah,
Miss Jacobs
up in the
stayed.
clouds, as they say.
Yeah, Miss Jacobs stayed. She say, if I stay any longer,
But
you have to buy me a home
everybody
on
had a
this
good
block.
time.
But I got some other plans for next year, which I'm exploring to expand it even better and greater. I know I'm gonna have some Latin, Spanish, and Caribbean flavor for next year. And African is also. Hey, Tiny.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, great.
Right, yeah. I missed it,
We
yes.
saw
What say?
Bill came by.
Yeah, Bill Stovall came, and Venus, Linda, and Rosemary came through.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I didn't see them.
But I got some plan I'm gonna do for next year that's gonna really rock that boat.
Mm.
There you go.
Everybody's just gonna have to be patient and wait till next year come and show you how I was so on time for some people. My guy was doing some work for a businessman today, and I invited him as a supporter. He said he was talking to his Kim folks. He was supposed to ride with them. They told him, man, we going to this block party on Gladys. And then we was talking, putting two and two together. That was a block party, which we have. And the people just told him, they got him on the phone, told him you and missed the party. He was all fired up and everything. He's listening to the music, to the last band, you know. So anyway, it was that kind of day that it really, touched a lot of people, and they really felt good, and they were dancing in the street. So, but one thing I was not aware of all the years having invited, musical talent and artists, different ones, and whatever their presentation is. And one band told me, say, yeah, we participate, but we put the tip bucket out and say then the people could put tips in there. But I said of all the years I've done, I said I've never had any group or band or singer mention that.
Right.
But he said, yeah, but he said the funniest thing, he said at block parties, they could be performed, but don't nobody give them any tips. I say, could it be that they don't think you doing it, you good enough or what?
Wow.
But that's the first time talking with one of them yesterday that we had that conversation, but never dawned on me all these years. Even Bill Stover didn't mention nothing like that.
Really? Yeah. Well, they did a good job. The gospel singers did a good job. Blues band did a really good job. So,
Yeah, a couple of them got happy out there.
who? Dr. Happy came?
No, I was just saying they got happy in the spirit
Oh, okay.
while singing.
Gotcha. So how you been, Camilla?
Hey, good evening, everybody. Doing fine. How are you all?
Great.
Great, good evening.
We recovered from Arnold's block party yesterday.
Yeah, it's been a lot of activities going on the past few weekends.
Oh yeah.
Got a big event going on. What's going on today over here? The firehouse.
Oh, it's the firehouse. What's going on? That's on Hamlin?
Yeah, Ogden. They got everything shut off from Central Park in Ogden all the way down to Pulaski in Ogden.
What's going
Wow.
on?
Oh, they're having their back to school kickoff. They're just a celebration, celebrating the kids, showcasing their artwork, games, food. Yeah,
Wow.
just having a festival.
Okay.
Yeah, they've been advertising it all week. Even on Channel 7 News, they interviewed them. Pastor Phil Jackson.
See,
Yeah, they got a big event going on over there.
okay. Sounds like it's a good day for it. It's not too hot, just right.
Yeah,
Wow.
very good weather today.
Is that Illuminati pizza place still over there?
Yeah, it's right. Yeah, they've got that blocked off too, because it's right on the corner from there, right down the
Yeah.
street from there. So yeah, it's still there.
They got more streets blocked off than you, Arnold. Sound like they got about 10 blocks. Wait.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, in every street you have to block off, you can consider that's every block or area you're gonna some point in time be walking. So,
Yeah.
so take that in consideration.
Yeah, right.
I'll tell anybody.
That's long. Pulaski, Central Park. Yeah, that's almost 8
A
blocks.
half a mile.
Hardin, Springfield, Avers, Hamlin, Ridgeway, Lawndale. What's up in Lawndale? I forgot the
Yeah,
name.
Hamlin, Central Park, Millard, Lawndale, Ridgeway,
Ridge.
Avers, I think, Hamlin,
Like 8 blocks. That's 8 blocks.
Springfield, and then Pulaski. I mean Harding, then Pulaski.
Yeah, it's about a mile.
Yeah, and then from Ogden back to Cermak.
Yeah, you gotta teach people how to celebrate and have fun in their own communities again. You
Yeah,
know?
I was over there for a minute, but I didn't made it on in now.
Yeah, a lot of walking, as Arnold said, a lot of walking. But we had one over by us over in Gilwood. They call it Gilwood Stock, and they have bands and food and alcohol. They got an alcohol thing set up, and people come out and walk around with cups of alcohol, and with the kids out and lawn chairs and everything. Yeah. So what do you say there, Miss Jacobs? How you been?
Hey, Steve. I'm still trying to recuperate from Arnold's event yesterday. It was nice. It was beautiful.
Well,
Everything was beautiful.
thank you, Miss Jacobs.
Hey, Miss
Hey,
Jacobs.
hey, I'm trying to come up to you, Arnold. I'm trying to make it there.
Oh, like I say, that information I gave you, you applied early for that set your date. It works
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah. That's why I said you gave me all that information. I mean, you was right on spot with that. I needed that, and you right on it.
By the way, I passed by your lot today, and when I was telling you about a few of those tarps,
Uh,
yeah, I see how they spread it, but it's not gonna rain, but certainly it's your call to make. I'll just get maybe no more than 3 or 4, and that will be toward the back end, because any area where there's really a lot of walking, long as there's no rain or no water, you're fine. That little dirt
okay.
ain't, I mean, it's gonna be hard, not hard, but it be good footing. So you you know, and that's coming up next Saturday, right?
Friday.
No, it's Friday,
This
the
Friday.
29th, Friday.
Yeah, and I just happened to have to stop through there down that street today. I said, let me look at it while I'm over here.
I'm glad you did.
Yeah, so up toward off the street, you know, the front, walking toward the back, which would be
Mhm.
walking west. Uh, just determine where the bulk of the activity as far as people standing and walking and have a tendency where any liquid or anything may be that would cause a muddy condition. But outside of that, I would just go with leaving it, you know, because it is level. Yes, it is level.
Well, he's supposed to come back tomorrow and finish leveling it off
Yeah,
again. He's supposed to get some more dirt tomorrow and even it up. And then I can put that tart. Gonna get the tart and have it put down Tuesday.
yeah. If you, like I said, have him give you the measurements, length and the width, and determine where they're standing, where there may be food or drinks, you know, liquid or something that can waste, then that's the only reason I suggest you'll need the tarps. So it wouldn't create a muddy situation because we're not going to get any rain. And right now, with the weather so moderate, you don't have a hot day, and then you have dew or moisture over over the early mornings. See, you don't have that kind of condition right now.
Right.
So
So
But
okay, Steve, your brother and the person that's cooking the fish is gonna be in the back part of the lot.
then
They're
I
gonna be
would
in the
just
back
say,
part.
then
I know,
what they do is just get a tarp. You know what I'm saying? For over there. You know, again, any
Okay.
dropping of food or pop or ice, you know, melt for water, because everything else gonna be dry. So there's no reason to worry about missteps when it's level or their shoes or anything getting all muddy.
I'm going to get the tart. Uh, I'm going to get the tart tomorrow. But what I was about to say? Something I was finna say. Okay, what I was finna say? Yeah, I'm gonna get the tart tomorrow. So yeah, I'm gonna put the tart down. I have the tart put down. Oh, Arnold. So you said they going over and do the grass tomorrow at 5427 Potomac, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
Now, what I need you right here in the back of my lot. It's some big weed trees. I need that cut down because I'm gonna have my potty put out there by that other lot, and that's where the cars is gonna park in that other lot over there.
Okay,
But
we'll
I need some
swing.
trees cut down.
All right, we'll swing over and when I get there, I'll call you just to make sure.
Okay.
all right. So what's going on with you, Barry? Barry's not on. Barry. Barry came by the part of that block party too, didn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I saw
got
Barry. I saw Barry.
Barry
He was
ate
so
good.
excited. Oh, now here I go complaining, y'all. Steve, Anna, all of y'all that's on podcast. Here I go complaining. Okay, these politicians got these young guys out here doing a petition and only paying them $2 a name. That's not fair. Now
Well,
I don't know what y'all think about it. But these little guys, they hustling. They out here in the sun, they talking to people they don't know nothing about, but they willing to work. But I think that's like that's using our little boys. You saying you want to help them, that's not helping them. That's using them.
$2 a signature?
Yeah.
How much do you think they should get paid?
If they don't give me 5 signatures, that's what, 2, 4, 6, 8, $10.
Yeah. So it's been a long time since I got paid for getting a petition, but that seemed pretty good to me, you know.
And hold up, you talking about $2? That sound pretty good.
$2 a signature?
No, Tiny, y'all, let's keep it real. Don't do this to our children. We said we want to help our kids.
Right.
Would you pay? Okay, wait a minute. Hold up. Would you pay your child or your grandchild $2 a name?
Well, let's think about that. Let's say they do 100 signatures. That's $200. Say it takes them to do 100 signatures 4 hours. So that's $25 an hour. No, that's $50 an hour, right? Yeah, that's $50 an hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ain't been paying y'all. That's old. Come on now. They can even bring it up to $5 an hour. Y'all, this ain't right. I'm sorry. I just
How much?
Let's think about it.
Yeah.
Again, if they get 100 signatures and it takes them 4 hours to get 100 signatures, that's still 2 times 100 is 200 divided by 4 is $50 an hour. If you gave them $5 an hour, that would be $500 divided by 4. That means they would be getting $125 an hour. You think
okay,
they
but
get 100?
Okay. I had a little guy I sent to some people last week. The little guy came in. I think he had 5 pages. I don't know that it came up to $200. So I said, "Well, ain't the guy gonna get paid this Friday?" He said, "No, he won't get paid until next Friday." I still don't feel it ain't averaging out to me.
You know what? He probably going to go. He got to check those signatures. He got to check them.
Miss Jacobs, the concern that Steve just outlined, individuals that, number one, it seems that many of these elected officials or organizations, whatever, they're not in an organized way, have individuals in an organizational way that's what they do. And when you have a regular routine or route, like say, for example, in my area, I know when everybody's home, I could call them, go to their house, get their signature, and then know like they mailed out the voter cards in the last week. So, there's a process to this. Many of them just doing it, even though if it's $2 or $10 or $20 a signature. They're just interested in make sure it's done right. And if they accept it under those conditions, like I said, they're lessening their value. I'll put it at that.
Yeah.
They're lessening their value, Miss Jacobs, because the percentage of good signatures versus somebody just getting signatures, no matter what they're giving a $2 or $20 a signature, it's of no value if when they turn it in and out of the 20, they only got 2. I've been on the other end and seen that happen, and it's disappointing because they're going out there for the money. And many candidates, if they have a budget and they know who they can get to do some signatures, they done door to door and they done right. And because some of them don't even have a phone where they can look up on the phone before I let anybody sign. I'm checking them in the system, and then you sign my petition. So if I'm doing it for $2 and I get 100, like Steve said, that's $200. But if I'm doing it, don't check it, which only takes less than a minute or 5 minutes, and then I'm just getting a signature, and the signature bad. So I've done it for nothing. Wasted time. And that's the most disappointing. You wasted my time and somebody else's time.
But the way,
Uh,
but the way I see these people did it, these little guys, and now they came from me. I refer to these little guys. They ain't checking the signatures. They don't know if they in the district or however way. They don't know. They just see some names, some signature.
That-
These organizations, whoever is over these kids, the guys they're going out. Yeah, they getting signatures, but it don't mean to say that
well,
they're not. I know they're not checking them. That's all I say.
well, again, I'm gonna put the burden on the individual that's taking time that wants to get paid. They're lessening their value because I just use me for example. Door to door, family member to family member. Whatever signature I get, I have 100% sheets.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying I'm the only one. I mean, I know the people, I know the area. I can call ahead. It's like making a house call. Until you
Yeah.
develop a system of delivering where you can deliver that kind of result, you're lessening your value. So these guys are just waiting on, well, Miss Jacobs knows somebody. Yeah, so they say we'll give you $2. And then when they bring the sheets back, they've been at the stores, they've been on the corner, and the people not registered at address, not registered,
Right.
wrong
Right.
their
Right.
signature, they print all kind of errors. So it
Yeah.
has no value to the candidate which they're circulating petitions on behalf of. Cause
Right. I see
could
that.
they give me $2? No, they don't. No, I don't get good signature, so we got to pay him. In many instances, I just do it just to stay involved in my area. So,
yeah, I mean, if you break it down, how much you think they should get paid an hour?
well, again, the budget is set by the candidate.
Right.
Now, governor's campaign with Pritzker will pay $5 to $10, maybe a signature.
Yeah.
Some judges, all again. So is nothing unique in all that. It's just that again, it's based on the uh, the candidate. That's all
How
I'm
much,
saying.
Ms. Jacobs, how much you think they should get paid an hour?
I think. Well, the minimum wage is $15.
So $15 an hour?
Yeah, at least.
But they're not. I mean, if they train, they know what they're doing, Miss Jacobs. And this ain't rocket science.
They're
But
not trained. No, no, they're not trained. They're not trained. They just okay. These little guys, they want some money. They out here, they hustling. They walking the. They haven't been trained. They just told, here, take this sheet, go out here and get me some signatures. That's how they are told. That's it.
right.
That's all. I saw this. I know how it goes. That part.
Me honestly, I wouldn't touch them, and I wouldn't touch them for one reason: until they can at least deliver or prove the result we just discussed. All I'm saying is I'm just giving out some money with no return percentage wise of what I can expect. That's all. I'm I'm helping them out, but they're not helping me out.
That's
They
why
don't know. Okay, they don't know. These people, these guys, they don't know any better. They going on what you give to them, and they trying to hustle to make the money. They don't know the difference. So, well, Miss Jacobs is not registered, but she's gonna do a signature. They don't know the difference. They just getting some signatures.
But
That's all they know.
and I agree with you, but I'm just saying, if it was me, if you tell me, I would tell them, first of all, I would sit down and get them a training and get them maybe 2 sheets after the training and say, now, and to make sure you have an understanding with them, this how it need to be done.
Well,
We
I'm not
can,
the one. No.
no,
Let's get
I'm
this.
just saying it doesn't, I'm just saying in all fairness. I'm not saying who or what. I'm just saying this is the way it need to be done. If this process is not followed, then I can't pay you, and what you doing can't benefit me. It's just that simple. So the placing of value and how much can be determined by the results that these individuals, whoever it is, because I even simplify it better than that. If I give you 5 sheets and they 95 to 100% accurate, who wouldn't want Arnold circulating petitions? Then I have some I can go off. But
So,
if all I'm getting is out of 22, 5, if I get that, I'm getting signatures, but ain't none of them, like I said, all of them so not necessarily bogus, but they have no value.
right. I see what you're saying. I
That's all
understand
I'm
everything
trying to
you're saying.
say. That's all
I
I'm saying.
understand what you're saying.
That's why Pritzker
Well,
was getting
that's up to the politicians. Like you said, they ain't training these people, and they just out there getting signatures.
that's why
So that's up to
Pritzker
them.
that's why Pritzker was giving $10 because he figured if I give you $10, you got a sheet with 10 names on it. That's $100 right off the top. So you gonna make sure you get that. If you get them 10 names, you gonna make sure they solid. You ain't gonna just be standing there wasting around. You're gonna be paying attention. You're gonna be asking the right questions. You're gonna look at people and look at feeling. When you approach them, you're gonna say, man, every sheet I get is $100. Man, them people they're gonna do it because they don't want to have a mistake. Now, not only are you gaining $10, you're gonna lose $10 if you don't have one out of 10. So that's how the
Yeah.
person is looking at it. But the way when it's at, and think about that, and they're saying, I want these 10 names, so I don't have to be out here. If you do it right, when Pritzker was paying $10 a sheet, you could be out there for 10 minutes and make $100.
There
So
you go.
You could be out there 20 minutes and make $100. You could be out there half hour, make $100. At the most.
but you got to make sure you got it in order though. That's the thing about it, because like Arnold said, if you ain't got but 2 people, you got 10 names and ain't but 2 people is clear. You know
No,
what
but
I'm
that's
saying?
the first thing you do. You're gonna say, "Are you a registered voter?" Then you say, "Where do you live?" You say, "Do you know that you live in? Or do you know who you voted for?" You can ask these real quick questions. Then you can say, "What's your address?" I guess. Then you go into that, you check it, and then before you even let them fill it out, because you don't want to lose that slot, because if they're giving you a limited amount of sheets, that means that they're giving you a limited amount to make mistakes with. And that's one way to do it. And the other way to do it is, like I said, like Pac-Man. Go into the area where the most people are that you know of and just hit it. And if you can go to a really populated area where people live in the ward, the district, what have you, then hey, the likelihood that they're good is gonna be better. But if you go door to door, it could be a hit or miss. If you go to certain neighborhoods, you got to know what time to go. Some people are working. You go into a house where there's working people. You go into a building where people don't even hang around in the same area more than a year. So transient people go into a building that's got 12 apartments, and they might have 24 registered voters. They might have, let's just say, 50, 40 registered voters in there. You might miss out because 1, they're at work. 2, the people that just moved to the building, and they haven't been there long enough to get, re-registered in the district or ward that they live in. And 3, can you even get into the building? So there's some start out practices when it comes to how much they're paying for signatures. But as Arnold,
Well, Miss
best thing-
Jacobs, when I go out, I have one of 3 things. Everybody keep a phone on them, Hopefully they can go
Yeah.
on the internet. 2, either a walk sheet or a poll sheet. And then have some voter registration cards. Now, those are 4 things. When I leave out, when I do what I do, I'm going to have on me, which means I got all the necessary information or technology to give me as much of a chance in getting it right. Now, the only question become as they writing or filling out that column that they ain't printing or their handwriting is so, then it could very well be their handwriting that they filled on the voter card when they got registered. That's the way they did it. But you just have to be focused, be patient, with an understanding you gave it your all, but you've given yourself as much of a chance to get it right than it is just out there hoping. Because I'm gathering some signatures. Because some people, if there's no way you can check and say I am Arnold Beard, and I tell you that, and might know Arnold Beard's address, but that ain't the signature and all that. So without that data in front of you or that technology, you're just lessening your value to get it right. That's all I'm saying. You're devaluing your time and your effectiveness toward getting the most money you can in this business of doing petitions. Word is known who gets good petitions. Why? I mean, I can get $2,000 worth doing petition time because they know Arnold knows everybody over here.
right.
See, know when they home, and so when town pick up $500-600, I said, okay, let me go get, and then and let it be you got 3 or 4 candidates, because then you really know you because you're doing 3 or 4 candidates, and each one of them giving you the same amount. Oh, please.
Right.
4 times $500, that's $2,000.
Well, that's good. I'm saying if the names are legit and these little guys is out here hustling and they making that kind of money, that's good. I mean, I'm all with it. But I was just saying, and then too, like you were saying, Arnold, they can do 10 pages. But out of 10 pages, you might have 10 names that's legit, and the other 20 is no use. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but again, Ms. J, let me be clear. I'm for getting as much as you can and being in a position to offer from a negotiation standpoint. Because again, no matter what you're doing, how you're doing it, are you giving yourself the best possible chance to maximize the potential of earning? And in that, what I just outlined, with doing it as long as I've been doing it, I can have some reasonable expectation how I can plan how much I want to make a day and how I'm gonna make it and when I make it. Regardless if they're paying a day or tomorrow, because they say, well, you do it today. They got to check them as Steve outlined. Then Friday, based upon they and give you a copy of which ones are good and bad, and then you go from there. I mean, you're in a position of knowing with some certainty that all those 10 or 20 were right. So you just get paid then. Because I've been on the end of that, and it's a good feeling, but like I say, you just have them guys out there. They out there hustling. I don't want to just be hustling. I want to go to work and make as much as I can for the right reasons. See, that's all I'm saying. I don't want to just be out there
Right,
doing something.
I understand what you're saying, Honor, but it's not, okay, like you say, I sent the guy to these people that was asking for them. The guy's right. They're out there, they hustling, they getting name signatures and things like that. Okay, fine, well and good. Another thing I'm adding to my complaint is these politicians, these little guys is working for, when all this is over, they should make sure that these guys got some jobs. If these guys out here hustling now for you to get elected or however way, at the end of the day, you should make sure you have a relationship, a contact, or whatever. Get these kids some real job.
There's every reason what you just outlined to say. You got them. I tell you what, get 20 of them. I'll sit them down, train them, and then they want to make some money. They can make some money. You know,
Right.
Okay.
all I'm saying
All
is
right.
you just gotta use best practices to put themselves in a position where they can maximize their potential. See, they're
That's
not
it.
doing you any good. You hustling up some bodies, but the
You're
intent is
right.
they
You're
just want
right.
some money. I'm saying train them,
The other
call
part,
them, call them petition folks, whatever name you want to give. But
right,
campaigns is every year, twice a year, some instances. And you get a reputation, like I said, regardless what candidates they do it on behalf of, then you want to get paid. So
and
when you get
the
to
other
that,
part,
then you more effective. That's all.
the other part
This ain't
is,
rocket science.
the other part of it is, if they work their salt, they, work their weight in salt, as they say, they gonna come in with some good numbers, some good signatures.
Yeah.
If the guy been out there all week, and you done gave him 25 pages or 30 pages, and he come back, and each page got 10 signatures on him, so he got 300 signatures. And he come back and he ain't got nothing but 30 of them out of 300? Do you even want him back? That's a
No.
10%. I mean, would you hire a person if you had a plumber that you paid he promised to do 100% of the work, but he only did 10% of the work? Would you want him back? You're gonna pay him, but but would you want him back? That's the whole point. The person that's in there that's just doing like if they got the right training, they got the right information on how to do the job, then okay, fine. Let them go out there. The results will show you what they're worth. Next time you might want to pay them more.
It's devastating for that candidate because you get 10% good signatures. That means 90% probability of that candidate being knocked off based upon the 10% good. And then you calculate how many signatures he need, how many people throughout the district or area that is gathered. So it's all a percentage business. So his probabilities and goes up tremendously in getting knocked off the ballot because they in fact only 10% of his signatures is gonna be good. 90% gonna be bad for whatever reason. I wouldn't want that if I was running a campaign or somebody sent me some people to help me in my campaign. I'd tell them, no, you go over there to Steve or Miss Jacobs. That's what I would direct them to.
Right. They're gonna say this guy out there just hustling, like you said, he hustling against you instead of for you.
And they giving the person a referral a bad name because they sending people that ain't doing,
Right. But since we in the campaign season mode, as we just said, there's a lot of that going on. I saw Congressman Davis out on your block, Arnold. He was going door to door with what do they call it? Potential candidate, Deshaun Ford.
Yeah, Richard was out there.
Yeah.
Richard came through there in Claiborne, for Robin Kelly.
Robert Kelly came through too?
Huh?
Robert Kelly came by on your block?
No, Claiborne Wade, he's circulating for Robin Kelly for Senate.
So yeah, you're right. They had quite a few people out circulating. Again, I saw the congressman. I don't know how he do it, but he walked, man. He just walks and walks and walks. Walk everywhere. Probably, if you look at the years,
Everything all right?
he been campaigning. He probably been walking for over. He could walk around the earth, you know. But anyway, what's going on, Crystal? How you been?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Making my rounds at all the community festivals and stuff this weekend.
Yeah, I know. It's quite a bit. Quite a bit. Which ones did you make it to?
Let's see. Well, I did make it to the Rib Fest in Austin. I made it to Ike's event. Today I went over to Lawndale. I saw Sergeant Harris. He said, I looked at, I said, yeah, I do come outside of Austin. He said, yeah, because I thought you was lost. I thought you was lost. I was going to show you the directions to get back to Austin.
Oh,
Wow.
my goodness.
Yeah, we talked about that. They said that's about a mile-long festival.
Oh, yeah, it is. Oh, man, they blocked off. Ooh, yeah, a lot of streets, and then the Firehouse nonprofit is right there, within that area where they blocked off the streets at. And
I've been hearing about this firehouse. I'm trying to picture it. And how long has it been in existence?
as far as I know, I just started seeing them maybe about 3 years ago. This guy, Reverend, I forgot his name, Reverend something. But yeah,
Is it Fields or something?
Yeah, Phil, yeah.
First name.
That's his first name, Phil.
Phil.
Jackson. Phil Jackson.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, because actually, yeah, I know it was about 3 years ago because one of my travel clients, his son, basically he has a culinary nonprofit. So they train people. And then I think in conjunction with Lawndale Christian Center.
Okay.
And
yeah, I know they're involved deeply.
Mm-hmm.
On everything over there.
Yeah, oh yeah, they own that area, right? And so I know that's when one of my travel clients, he had told me, his son had been in a bad space in his life, and how Reverend Phil really helped him and he even got his certificate for culinary, got a job, and they went to Africa I'm gonna say about 3 years ago. So that was about the time I had first heard about him over there. Yeah.
And it's called the Firehouse. It's on Hamlin and Ogden or something?
Yes. Exactly. You're exactly in the right place. Yeah, let me because I had the flyer here. Let me see if I can put the flyer on here.
Miller told me she said she was over there today.
Who?
Miller.
Hey, good evening. Actually, Reverend Phil Jackson, they've been over there. They've been over there for a long time. They've been over there since about 2007.
Okay.
But the program was really small when they first started in 2007. they really just started getting notoriety in the last 3, 4 years.
Uh-huh.
Because
Okay.
their programs have started growing,
Mhm.
and they started partnershiping with a lot of other people. But like
Mhm.
you said, they do have the culinary, and they have arts program because
Mhm.
a couple kids from my program go there. So yeah,
Mhm.
they have a lot of things going on now, and they
Mhm.
fellowship with partnership with a lot of other people. So they're getting a
Mhm.
lot of notoriety now.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, it was a big festival. But they that festival though, I think they've been having that festival now for maybe about 3 or 4 years.
Mhm.
That hasn't always been going on.
Oh, okay, that yeah, because when I was out there, they announced it as the all Lawndale Fest.
Hmm. Yeah.
And see in his Hamlin, this where his the block where his organization is, so it runs right into Ogden there. And uh-huh.
What do
Yeah.
they mean by all bonded? What does that mean? Like,
Well, I guess that what I saw was they meant all the nonprofits were doing this together because they had all the different nonprofits out there.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
they have a lot of vendors that come together throughout the
Mm-hmm.
Lawndale community, and
Mm-hmm.
then also Lawndale Christian
Mm-hmm.
plays a big part in it too because it takes up that area.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Yeah. And then they on Ogden, the police department is over there on
Yeah,
Ogden, everything is up
everything.
running up and down Ogden there. The 10th
Yeah.
was it the 10th district is right there.
Hmm.
so let me ask you, since we on that, do we think that that area is realistically, is it changing it quite a bit? I mean, in any direction?
Yeah, it is. I mean, they built a lot of new homes over there. They well, the police department's right there, but then, what's that? I think it's Wintrust Bank had opened, a lot of new construction, I guess. I've seen in the last 3 years because this was a couple of summers ago. I was going to the meetings over there at the 10 about the block club.
Uh,
They had that block club grant a couple of years ago. And but anyway, I forgot the lady's name. She was doing these she's a Lori. Lori was doing these community meetings at 10, and then all the different organizations were getting together doing different block club events in Lawndale. And that's when I had learned also that they had built some new construction homes, and and then for um not low income but moderate income, like you had to live in Lawndale already. um they were giving special rates, interest rates on these homes, and it was really a win-win for the residents. They should all be filled by now, but because I remember leaving there, going over to Austin, coming together, and saying, "Yeah, what happened to the plan?" Because I was involved in the quality of life plan from the beginning till it was finished, and it was all this stuff about housing, but then it just dissolved. After the quality of life plan was inked at that time. Of course, now they, trying to revise thing and I guess it's called revive things because they got those meetings about the different home ownerships, and what's the other meeting that Austin coming together and Good Neighbor campaign are having about dang, it's one Monday. It's about, what do you call it, Steve?
well, you talking about the infrastructure plan? Or the,
It's something to do with that, but it's something about um gosh, I can't remember the name of where they get together and then they make these community plans for housing, to control the housing, so you want, Huh?
Land bank, like land banking?
Yeah, yeah, something like that. Yeah. Yeah, because it's a meeting, I think on Monday or Tuesday, um, about it, because they had started having meetings maybe just this year. But let me go back to 2 years ago when I was hanging out in Lawndale. And I was like, yeah, y'all, what happened to the plan about, helping, save, helping the families, in home ownership. And at that time, 2 years ago, they weren't doing anything with that, but of course that has changed at this point. Yeah.
Right. So they had a quality of life statement and plan in Lawndale also, right?
Yeah, yeah. And I think their quality of life plan had finished. I think we were one of the last communities to get a quality of life plan.
And where did these all trickle down from? That's what I'm not
What
understanding.
the quality of life plan?
Yes.
Okay, well, my understanding being on the committee all those years was that LISC, that organization LISC, LISC.
Right.
Okay, LISC, which is the humongous nonprofit, they they had done all this research and whatever, and found that these inner city communities, their list is in other cities also, okay, but anyway, back to Chicago, and that since say daily 50, 60 years ago or whatever, that of course our neighborhoods had been neglected, which we already knew, and there was no infrastructure plan for or nothing nowhere with the city saying anything about what they were going to do to help these communities. So the quality of life plan is like a resume, okay, and to say, what do you need? You need new sewers, you need safety, you need construction, you need all the things that a community would need um to first of all get back on track, and then from there, once you get the foundation together, then how does it grow from there? And so that's what the quality of life plan, that whole study that Liz had done. I don't know how long ago they had done it, but I think at the time that it came to Austin, I think Lawndale, I think Garfield Park had already done one. And then, a lot of those other communities all over the city that we saw that had made strides, right? And the communities all of a sudden, like I know some of the communities in Chicago. Let's just talk about if you go to Chicago on Chicago Avenue to West Town. I remember I was living in Atlanta and I came back to Chicago and I didn't even know where I was. I was like, what? What happened? Because it was looking different, right? It was looking different. It was cleaner. It was just all these things, right? And all that was because of, say, a quality of life plan that helped the community leaders come together, sit down together, and then with the residents and everybody decide what they wanted their community to look like.
Right. Right. So this has been going on for some time. This is nothing new.
No, no, it's nothing. It's
This,
nothing new.
yeah,
Mm-mm.
this has been out for a while, huh?
Oh yeah, List's been around, and they've been doing this all over the country. Not just in Chicago, and then it's a free service because they're a ginormous nonprofit, right? And so, but that's the whole thing. They have to find, I guess, like a lead organization in any community to help put it together. And so for Austin, I mean, basically, we have AAA BNA and we had Westside Health Authority, Austin coming together. Who else did we have? You, um, but I don't know how they chose the organization, or did they talk to all the organizations that were, um, to see, who they, could hope to bring the people together. Because I remember prior to this whole thing, Austin Coming Together had hired, what's that nonprofit? It's something like the Job Corps, but it's for adults. Where they get AmeriCorps, I think is the name of it. Yeah. So what Awesome Coming Together did, they were able to get a lot of people from AmeriCorps. AmeriCorps pays it's a grant or whatever, and they pay them a stipend, and then they came to work for Austin Coming Together, and so that gave them the canvassers, right?
Right.
And they went out because that's how I first found. They came out and they went to every business because I know they came to man, okay, and I was on the 5900 block then, and so I don't know if they. And I'm gonna say they would even contact people that didn't have a storefront because um there was when I was in the meeting there was churches and there were other business people that had home businesses that were on the committees and things like that. So once they sent these canvassers out, and that might have been a whole year or something like that. And then it came back around. Then it was like, hey, we're gonna have these meetings to talk about what this would look like, right? And
Right.
then they invited us back again. And then they told us, the people came from lists
Right.
also, and then they talked about, hey, this is what we're trying to get the community together and put on paper what does Austin need and stuff, and then also after that, what does Austin want, right? So, and then that's how I even like the Laramie Bank building. Jim Bowers, he had wrote a op-ed about that building. Cause me and Jim I'd sit in my office on Chicago Avenue, and every day there would be buses passing my store going to Oak Park. And, we were like, well, these buses that were passing going to Oak Park were tour buses of people who came into Chicago who were looking at architectural um, type buildings in Chicago. And so they would come from downtown or wherever, and they were going on these architectural tours, but they would come down um, to that bank building on Laramie because that, Art Deco, however long as, was built and all that. And then they go into Oak Park and they go to those Frank Lloyd Wright houses and stuff like that. So we were talking about it one day, and Jim wrote an op-ed, and Brad published it in his paper. And then we knew this lady, Motlin, that worked for the Sun Times, and she published it in the Sun Times. And that's how that bank building started getting attention. And I know what happened. This guy that was over Preservation Chicago that helps preserve historic buildings, right? He saw it. And then, because they were getting ready to tear that bank building down.
Wow.
The city was getting ready to tear it down. And so this guy contacted Jim, and then they actually went to court. So the city wouldn't tear that building down. And
Wow.
then, okay, now at the same time, this quality of life thing is going on, right? We had started going to those meetings. And so, anyway, so then that's how I got the attention. Well, hey, you know, okay, the quality of life is about, you know, preserving the community, seeing what the community needs and what it wants. And we wanted them to save that building, to not tear that building down. And that's where that whole vision came of, hey, wow, not only could this be, you know, restored, you know, and then that whole thing about, wow, it's this land, we could build apartments on this land, and this could be this, that, and the other. You see, so back to Austin being a great community, and there's a backstory to everything. You see, you know, whether all of us can't be in the same rooms. That's why we a village, right? That's why we got to help each other and things like that. And and not be, like they say, silos, you know. Um, so, and because everything is for our betterment and the community's betterment. Because I live in Austin, I work in Austin, so I help people every day and everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, I remember, just to kind of piggyback off the quality of life, I remember when Miss Span was alive, back around, I think it was during the convention, the Democratic convention. It was around 96 or 98. It would have been the same like now, I guess, But she said to me, she said, Steve, what Austin needs is a mandate. And I was like, what do you mean? She said, the people of Austin need to say what they would like to see, what they want, and the needs need to be met for the next 25 plus years. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, wow. And I'm like, wow, when are you going to do that, Miss Span? Because I didn't really understand the plan. But she called it out. And I don't know, I was probably about 28 years old at the time when she told me. And I just knew it was something. I'm like, you're going to do this, right? Great idea. I just didn't understand, the magnitude. I understood the magnitude. I didn't understand how, the mechanics of how to make it. But,
and see, the thing was that big, ginormous nonprofit list. See, they had power too, right? It's all these foundations giving them $1 billion or whatever. So that's a talking one, right? For them to go to cities and say, hey, we want to help you, okay? We want to help your city, and guess what? We ain't asking you for no money. We gonna fund it ourselves. You see, and it came in. I guess it came in at the right time too, because at the time we had which meant that was Emmanuel, right? We had him at that point, and then when that whole thing was being formed, and then we got Lori when everything was ready to be executed. You see, so that helped us. It helped the whole of the West Side because all the communities got the quality of life plan in order to start changing that 50 something years of disinvestment.
Gotcha.
Well, how do you feel? How do you people that's on podcast, how do you feel about a black bank coming into the bank up here on Laramie and Chicago Avenue? How do y'all feel about that?
A black bank. So are you talking about on Madison at the credit union or something else?
I'm talking about the bank you talking about right here on Laramie and Chicago Avenue.
Laramie and Chicago Avenue. Where at?
Laramie Street Bank. She said in that development.
Oh, the Laramie Street Bank. Oh, so yeah, I mean, I know, I haven't been to any meetings lately, but I know they were looking at, several different different banks or credit unions or whatever to come in there. Because I remember this was a few years ago, they was even talking to the Leaders Network about, when they were saying they were going to start the Black Bank, about coming into that space. So I don't know, at this point, I haven't talked to Athena and them's lately, but like when it's finished, is the Leaders Network still gonna move in there, or did they get another entity? Ms. Jacobs, do you know?
No, I was talking to the bank manager out at Liberty Bank, out at Liberty Bank,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been talking to them, telling them that they need to come into the community. We need a black bank.
Mm-hmm.
So she's willing to meet
Mm-hmm.
with Athena, but Athena been busy, I guess. I don't know. But anyway,
Mm-hmm.
because I
Mm-hmm.
told her Athena wanted me on the committee, to talk to the banks.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so I haven't really talked to Athena, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking to the bank manager out here. She's ready to go, but
Mm-hmm.
some things is that she got to get with Athena and some more
Mm-hmm.
people. That's what
Oh
she's
yeah.
saying.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. So, everything we know is a process. So, yeah, and I don't even know what D-Day is for all of that to be finished. It looks like the apartments are coming along. So, maybe by the end of next year, that'll all be done. Maybe the whole thing will be done by the end of next year,
Yeah, she
but
did
it's,
say the 26. She did say the
okay.
26. And
Okay.
she said that the people that wanted to apply for apartments, I think that in November they come in and apply
Hmm.
for apartment
Okay. Okay.
on
Good.
26. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so I mean everything is moving along as we can see. I mean the Aspire Center, the Caron Center opened at the end of, at COVID time, but now we got the Aspire Center. Now that's next. What else is? And then they trying to get this whole land trust thing together. It's still a bunch of vacant land in Austin. I guess these developers are buying it up and building, new construction, which is a good thing. And so, it's just, I don't know what law enforcement, about getting these guns out of these folks'
That's
hands,
the
to get
most
that
important.
straight.
Oh, that's another thing. Now me and I think Steve and somebody else was talking about uh the president sending the National Guard to. I think he's trying to bluff Chicago. But anyway, we don't need them. We can run our own city. Now this is what we were discussing.
Hmm.
The CPD and the sheriffs start working together, boots on the ground, and with the community, and we can handle our own.
Right, you're right. You are right. Because I mean, with combined, and then I don't know where I was. I think I was downtown at there was this guy from the University of Chicago that wrote this book. Um, which I got on my dresser in there. I'll tell y'all about it next week. But about how, with these combinations of, say, law enforcement and the community, how we could end all this tomorrow. You see, but it's you know, and basically it's as simple as that. And but the three entities coming together, right? Like you're saying, Miss Jacob, the
Yeah,
uh
yeah,
the law,
yeah.
the sheriffs, the police department, and then the community. Because how
That's
many?
right.
I mean, we got a zillion block clubs, right? In
Right.
Chicago, and then but in any block that ain't got one, we need to start one. And
Right.
so back to community watches and things like that, that would shut it up real fast, right?
See,
That would.
I think what we need to do, just like you say in these blocks,
Mm-hmm.
all these blocks, we need to get together and
Mm-hmm.
organize.
Right.
To whereas when somebody else want to come in here to our city, we are together. No,
Right.
we'll
Mhm.
say no at the door.
Right. That's right. You're right.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're right. Exactly. So that's the part right there. So, and so maybe that next question is, so how do we organize to, but still it starts with, with us working with law enforcement, you see, and to devise that plan that can be put out to all the blocks. And because we know, come on, we live here, that in some cases the problem with the blocks sometimes can be the block president that got the block club president that
Right.
got all the hoodlums and things like that.
Yes.
So
Yes.
But that's why when you say how do we organize, well, the county sheriffs are already organized. The Chicago police are already organized. It's just the blocks need to be organized.
mhm,
And how do we do that? Door to door, one
mhm,
block at a time. I mean,
mhm,
once you finish a block, you got to keep them. You got to keep them in the loop. You got to keep them connected. You got to keep them
mhm,
communicating, like we always say. And you can only do it by going door to door and
mhm,
building relationships. Yeah, you may
mhm,
not on a 34 home block. You may not have all 34 homes people that's participate. Yeah, let's just say, two of those homes are empty, and five of them have new immigrant
mhm,
citizens
mhm,
on the block, and now you're getting down to almost what 20 something homes. Okay,
mhm,
so let's build with those relationships, whether you
mhm,
have it or not. I tell people all the time, all relationships are worth something, whether they're good, bad, or indifferent. If they're
mhm,
bad, better. If they're good, let's take it up a notch. But we
mhm,
have to use what we have to build these blocks
mhm,
on one door at a time.
mhm,
And
mhm.
it works because a lot of times the people that don't want to participate, as you said, they're the ones that's causing the problem.
Yeah, so I think, the key is for, us as citizens, getting with those. We know the police are organized, we know that the sheriffs are organized, and come up with some uniform advertising pieces, right? To So we can start a block by block campaign. They know who all the block clubs presidents are on every block. Okay. And and just, I mean, doing it like that, block for block, with with a uniform message, right? In
Right.
English and Spanish. Okay. And and then they already have beat meetings in every in every area, although everybody don't come to those. But on every block, like say if it's 30, 40 houses on the block, and then we go with this uniform message, like and I'm just going to use Hope Church as an example. Now they have um that phone number where they can send stuff out to everybody, right? If you opt in to get the message, you see. So we need something like that on every block, right? And so then we can send out, and then it's also, connected
And
uh, to the
that's called the block club leader. Because
right,
as well as I do, sometimes people move in, sometimes people move out. But
right,
that leader is going to be the one that's going to be the outreach person when that happens,
right,
to bring them in. And
right.
that's an excellent point that you said about bringing people together and ways Hope Church is doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So hey, whatever it takes to build those relationships is
Mm-hmm.
what we need to do, because to me, I'll say this again, a safe block is a beautiful block. A beautiful block is where people are communicating and stay connected and care.
Mm-hmm.
And you could see that everywhere. It's like we kind of lost the foundation. And it's
Mm-hmm.
found just a simple formula. We just need to do it. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I just do it as much as I can, but week by week. We've been hitting blocks in Austin, and
Mm-hmm.
we build those blocks up. We have people come out. There was a Hispanic guy came out. We was out doing our smokeouts. He
Mm-hmm.
brought he brought a bag of tamales out. He's like, hey man, get these, this is for everybody. It's like, okay, where you? Like, oh, I just moved over here. So it's like, cool. This is here. Here's some other residents. Here, these are them. I mean, even the guys that you cause trouble, they came. Start talking, man. I know him. I know this. Man, I don't do all that. We looking out and all that. Okay, good.
So that's something we because I know like my block doesn't have a block club or block president. I mean, it's pretty, stable over here, but still that's unstable if we don't have a block club, you see, or no go-to person. And
that's all that matters. You just need. I remember when I first came to NAC, and I used to be like, "How do you know who's the block club leader when you don't have one?" They say it's the most vocal person on the block, the person that sees something and says something all the time. They ain't. They're gonna be the leader after we get through with them. So, and it works, People just know their own potential until you work with help them. And then these days they need the follow up. They need other leaders to be the example. They need the other leaders on the other blocks to be like, hey, I've been doing this like Arnold. He said he's been doing it 24 years on this block. Ella been doing it almost 40 years. 30 years. Miss Jacobs, I brought her at the bowl, 13 years ago. She said here at an Emma Mintz meeting, ward meeting, and I got up with one of our organizers and I said, anybody that's looking to do block club development, just reach out to me and we'll be more than happy to support you in doing that. And she came right up. Wait a minute, young man. I'm like, I ain't no young man no more. 15 plus years back, I was 50 at the time, maybe. No, that was Jacob. That was 13 years ago. So I was about 47. Yeah, 47. So, and she said, "Yeah, I want you to come on my block and help." And we like, okay, it's September or was it October? It was October. I said, but we'll come out. Let's go. We went out. We hit that block in October. It was getting cold, and we looked and we went through, and we found 17 abandoned or vacant properties.
It was.
Wow.
Anything like that in Austin or even in Phoenix. I heard how Inglewood has areas like that. I never even in Lawndale, but we looked, we said, you know what, we can still do this. We could and let's do this. So what we said, well, okay, Miss Jacobs, since you the loudest one and the one saying, you seeing something that's saying something, you the leader now. She said, well, I ain't really done none of this. Like that. So, well, that's okay. We're gonna walk and talk with you.
Yep, sure did.
Yeah, well, I need to start a block club on my block and everything. So we can, we got, I'll say maybe it's half and half Hispanic, but but they at least the ones I meet, they all speak English and but get, some bilingual material and I'll pay for it.
People that speak, Spanish that come out.
Well, you know what? We got to get with them because they ain't going nowhere and we ain't going nowhere. So
well, they are neighbors, so
that's right.
That's the bottom line. But yeah, so because I and I mean I got, I know my neighbors, on east side. I know the neighbors across the street. The man that owns People's Taco live across the street, and other neighbors, but then, some of them, of course, they live way down on the other end. I don't probably barely see them, right? And things like that. But to, have a day, where there's tables outside and, and because, these blocks over here pretty long, okay? So, and
wait a minute, what 100 years?
59 on Walton.
Okay, but how that you said they're pretty long, so they go from 59 to 58 and 59?
No, this block is it's the 5900 block, but I don't know. It just seems like the block is really long.
And no, they ain't as long as Honor Block over there. Them blocks go to double. They double blocks. I mean, there's like 68 homes on the block. The
Oh,
average.
okay. I'm gonna have to count how many is on this block, but it's because I think it's only really one vacant lot on the block, and that it looked like, I don't know, I don't know if somebody owns the lot, but it's toward the beginning of the block,
Right.
in between two homes. So I don't know if somebody owned
Yeah,
it. I don't
talking
see
about
no city signs on them.
Austin and Mayfield.
Well, yeah, so I'm on the 5900 block. So yeah, I'm 45. So it goes up to Austin, but it starts at Mayfield.
Right.
Mayfield to Austin.
I can tell you, even though that is a long block because Mason comes in on the other side of the division or in Augusta, but it doesn't go that way. It's still not as long as the blocks down there on South Austin because South Austin, them blocks is 68 homes. You probably have at the most 36 homes on your. The other blocks that end up like the ones that end up that runs perpendicular to like division, they only have like the 1200 block of Massasoit or Wild Park. They only have 24, 26 homes because of the businesses take up a good 5 properties, But trust me, you go down on the south end of Austin, them blocks a month of Sundays to walk. I was over there at Farmers Block Party yesterday. Miss Jacobs walked to the opposite end of the block. I had to go over and get her car from going up the block. I mean,
walking a long way.
That's what I did. I didn't get to Arnold's Block Club party yesterday.
Oh yeah,
Right.
It was nice. It was beautiful. But I had to walk all that long distance. I'm gonna blame you for my knees hurting.
Yeah, it's like literally walking. You had to walk back and forth. It's like walking 4 blocks.
Oh
really,
man.
Yeah.
You walk a half a mile. I'm telling you, if you walk to one end of his block and you come back to the other end, you walk a half a mile. Seriously.
Wow.
And I couldn't do it. You Steve right. He had to go and get my car because I couldn't go back.
Really?
It's literally a half a mile distance. And then she walked another block down, so that would have been 6 blocks,
Wow.
Just with his one block, and then the kind of corner. but it could be done. I tell everybody that the battle is, do people want to know their neighbors? And I think that's part of where we started slipping in many cases. People not wanting to know, man, my business, and that's it. Everybody shuts themselves in, and what we end up with,
Yeah, so I think, because like say from going, to that event downtown with the university and the city was there, and I think this is really a city campaign, like part of this is like some uniform literature from the city, saying, know your neighbor. You see, like they used to have those signs saying, we're a neighborhood watch, and things like that, get back to those days. And so if it's a citywide campaign, it'll help. I mean, of course, we're gonna internalize it into our own community, but that'll help some communities. Because I'm telling you, I've been to Inglewood. I mean, it looked like a war zone on some of them blocks. It may be 2 houses on a block. Okay, it's crazy looking. Okay, and
kind of
and
like
so
you've been to, what is that? West Chicago? What they call it? South Chicago, Indiana?
yeah.
You ever been out there?
It's been many years. It's been over 20 years.
Well, I guarantee you, it looked like that now. And it looked years before that. I swear, I've never seen so many, one house on a block. I mean, vacant lots in one house.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, because that's how Inglewood. I mean, I went, because I'm in all these different projects. We went over to a block over there, and I mean, an art organization basically then almost bought everything on the block, right? Because I mean, it's still abandoned houses on the block, you know. And but they didn't start, like the lots they do have, they grow in community gardens and
Yeah, I
got
heard.
all kind of art programs in one building, got different things, and that's all a process too, to get money, to do all that stuff. But then you go on another block and it's scary, you know. It's like, man,
but it should be,
but
Well, I'm just going to suggest something. Now, after this Sunday, if it's the Lord's will, September, maybe us, everybody on here, we get a neighbor and we get a know your neighbor and get
mhm,
with the CPD and the sheriffs, and
mhm,
we want to come together and we want to organize.
mhm,
We set up a date and when we get our blocks together, and then
mhm.
we all come together. That's what we need to do. We talk to
Yeah.
the superintendent of police and Dart,
Right.
the sheriff. We
Mhm,
need to come together. See, another thing I say, and I'm always complaining. These doggone sheriffs ain't doing a doggone thing. They set
mhm,
up here in this place on Chicago Avenue. I don't see them drive down the street now, not at all. They need to get up and get boots on the ground. I'm telling y'all, they need to get down with the community.
mhm.
That's why I
that's the
said,
first part of it. The first
uh,
part is people don't even know they exist, and they're supposed to exist and have certain parameters to their job title. You know,
Mhm,
that's the thing, people. If you don't call somebody out on what they, if the guy say he a painter, you don't know what painting means, and he's over there just standing in the corner, you say, oh, he's painting. But if that's not part of the job description, and it means you got to put some paint in a bucket and get a brush and put that on the wall, and you never see it, you never know. So what is
mhm,
the job description? What are
mhm,
they are county, but I mean Chicago is within the county.
mhm. Right,
but
right.
that's
So
why,
yeah.
okay, yes. But that's what I'm saying. They sitting up there and we got to bring them out to the front. Look,
Mhm,
you up here,
mhm,
you sitting in there. We need you in the community. That's why I
mhm,
said back boots on the ground. We,
mhm,
the community, need to meet with these
mhm,
superintendents and the
mhm,
head of the sheriff. That's what
mhm.
we need to do.
Yeah, so true. So true. I mean, and bringing them out to the alderman meetings, to the beat meetings or whatever, to the
These
faith
obligations,
based
yeah, bring them
meeting.
out.
Yeah, bring them out. Yeah, so so that would have to go to Dart
Yeah.
and to be able to start that conversation, to bring them out. Yeah, because if they supposed to be assisting the communities over here and they just sitting up in their office all day. Because I was driving down Chicago Avenue a few weeks ago, and I guess they were having I guess a event over there
Yeah,
on the
they were having the sheriff was giving some over back to school, some over there at the pop
yeah,
up, right? I remember that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but that was the thing. I didn't know anything about it till I drove past it. Wasn't nobody
Saying
even
that's
out
all they
there.
do. That's all they do up there. I'm
So this
talking about they need to be patrolling, boots on
Right,
the ground, just like these policemen need to
right,
be boots
right.
on the
Yeah,
ground, back down, boots on the ground.
right, right. Yeah, yeah. So we need to get that together to get to dark then.
we also have state police too. You know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
The what?
State police. We have state policemen. We have state, county, and city.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
You know,
we the community need to get organized and bring them right
Mm-hmm.
to the front.
Mm-hmm. So we need to get a letter to Dart and or call him or who does his
No, no,
public.
no, no, no. Now I'm suggesting no, we, us, you,
Right.
he,
Right. Well, that's what I
all
say. That's what I'm talking about. We need to get
no, no,
together
no,
and get a
listen.
letter.
No, no, no. No. We, the community, come together. We organize. Now, once we are organized, now we can step to them. This is what we want.
Well, I
Okay.
think we're a little bit more organized than what they are because we don't know what we know what we want, but we don't know what they do.
Because I know I don't know what they do.
Well,
Look,
this is why we need to come together, and then we bring them in front. Hey, what is your duties? What are you supposed to do for the community?
Are they invited? Are they invited to your? Are they invited to your event this Friday?
Yes, I told Patrick, he's over the sheriff or something. I don't forget what it was. Yeah, I invited them, but I don't know if they're gonna be here. But I did. Yes, I did.
Okay, well, hopefully we'll have all levels because we're gonna have the local police, the Chicago police, you have the county police, and I invited somebody from the state police. So hopefully we can have them all there.
So what event is this y'all talking about, Ms. Jacobs?
Hey, I'm having a fish fry this Friday in my lot, L block lot, 942 North Lockwood. So come on out.
Okay, yeah, I did get the invitation.
Politicians there.
Okay, this Friday. Okay, I'll be there.
Yeah, that's a good plan. We can get them all.
Right.
Get them all right while they, in the same place and
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
What's your job? What's your job description? What is it really?
That's it.
We heard it, seen you here and there, but we don't know what's your capacity.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And
That's right.
Being that the city law enforcement, Chicago Police Department is under capacity,
Mm-hmm.
some of these other entities of law enforcement fill the gap.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why
Yeah.
I thought that's why they were here was to fill the gap and stuff. So at least that's what they said. I remember some years ago that they were filling the gap for the CPD.
Yeah, right.
And we all know the ones that work for the counties, I don't know about Cook County, but I know some of the other counties, that people are not being imprisoned like they used to be.
Mm-hmm.
They're low, and I ain't gonna say enrollment, but low numbers in prisons.
Mm-hmm.
We still the biggest population of prisoners in the world in America.
Mm-hmm.
It was.
Mm. Yeah.
Oh, and Bingham, Steve, you know Bingham. He's a deacon at my church. So he texted the mayor and told the mayor about my event Friday. I said, and you tell him Ms. Jacobs said it. So he said right. He did. And yeah, he said he did. And I said, well, did he respond? I saw him at church today. He said he hadn't responded, but he did text him. But hadn't responded. He said maybe he'll get a response tonight. But I already got the mayor's assistance. He said he will be here. But we want the mayor here. We want the sheriff here. We want the police here. We want them all here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There you go.
Because I have passed out flyers to all of my block people, but I'm gonna pass out another flyer to remind them. I'm gonna pass out another flyer tomorrow for my block. Again. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we'll organize. We'll get it organized. I think that's an excellent way to look at it. But I know one thing. I know a person that said, why do police always want us to help them? Won't they go do their jobs and help themselves? I'm like, yeah, that's a good point too. But the problem is this: crime is everybody's business.
That's right. Yep. That's why I said we gotta get down, boots on the ground, y'all.
We gotta get a song. Yeah. All right, y'all. We're gonna go around the room at this time. If anybody want to add anything to the vocabulary of today or tonight, we're gonna start at the top. Crystal, you got anything you want to add or talk about that's going on?
Let's see what's going on this week. Well, in 3 weeks is my festival, the Gone Again, the 5th annual Gone Again Fest, Austin
Okay.
Music Festival over at Austin Town Hall. And
Oh,
yeah, so just getting all that together. The kids on this year, they'll have free hot dogs for the kids, and but there'll be food vendors there, and other merchandise vendors, music from noon to 7. Also, State Rep Ford is going to open the festivities. Him and my friend Chief Habiba from the Northern Ghana region. They're going to open the festivities this year. So I got all kind of uh, groups, jazz, blues,
all right.
African dancers and singers, and yeah,
Okay.
it's gonna be amazing. I got face painters for the kids, bouncy houses. I got a game truck. Um,
Wow.
so just a full day of music and fun, and of course, it's free to the public, and yeah,
Gone
That
Again
sounds
Travel
good.
gone again.
Festival. All right. How about you, Miss J? What again? You want to talk about what you got going this Friday?
This Friday, if it's the Lord's will, I plan to have a fish fry. And I try to invite everybody, all these people that's running for positions and all that ain't got a position and trying to get a position and whatever. And it started at 2 o'clock because I want to give them a chance to speak out to say what they might want to do. I don't know, whatever. But anyway, I'll give them a chance to speak. And then after that, then we go party. I'm gonna have a bid whiz table. I'm gonna have a spade table. We're gonna have fish, we're gonna have chicken, we're gonna have ribs, we're gonna have it all. So come on up under the shade tree, a fish fry.
Miss Jacob, what time is
And
your
I'm gonna have a
event?
band too.
What time is your event?
It started
Right,
it started at two
2 o'clock.
o'clock.
Yeah, I just wanted to
Yeah,
make sure it was on my calendar. That's all. Two
2 o'clock.
o'clock
Yeah,
on
two
Friday.
o'clock.
Okay.
Ma'am. Two
Okay.
o'clock. Come on.
Thank
Everybody on
you.
here, come on out. We fellowship together. It's all about coming together and just making things happen for the community. That's it. That's all.
Great, great, great.
How about you, Tiny? What you got in conclusion?
Well, it's just good to be around like-minded people. They can keep up the good work.
All right, all right. Barry
I
Corn,
see
what
you,
you got?
Tiny. I see you Friday, Tiny.
Okay, I'll see you. I'll see you Friday, but I'm gonna talk before then.
Okay, all right.
Barry Corn.
Hey guys.
Hey there.
Hey,
Hi,
Barry.
Hi everyone. I put it in my calendar, Miss Jacobs.
All right, very good.
Um,
I'll see you.
let's see. My biggest concern is in regard to um, organizing the blocks and the police and the sheriffs is what are the police going to do and the sheriffs if Trump has ICE on her blocks? Are they going to stand with the people, or are they going to stand with Trump's ICE agents, whisking people away?
I think. Wait a minute. Let me try to answer this one. In my opinion, that's why we need to organize to whereas if it ever come to that, we can stand with the officers and the mayor and we all standing together. Together
Right,
we stand, divided we fall. That's what I'm
right,
talking about.
right. I'm just wondering, what is the mayor and what's the police chief going to say about all that? Are we going to find out when they show up, or are they going to say something ahead of time?
I
Given
can't
that
answer
they're
for them.
organized.
I
Yeah,
can't answer
right.
for
That's my question.
I've
them.
talked
I
to
don't.
Because because that's going to have a big impact on the relationship between the people and the police after ICE is gone.
well, I've talked to police, and they're saying that that's not going to happen. They're saying it's not happening. They haven't gotten any word about it, but they strongly believe it's not going to happen. It's just a lot of talk.
Well,
But
that's good. That's good. I sure hope so. That'd be the easiest.
right. All right, Barry. Who else we got here? Camilla, you got
Oh,
anything?
one other thing, Steve.
Sure.
Bernie Sanders was at UIC, and Felice and I went down to hear him, but we couldn't get in because the place was packed. And he was supposed to get on at 6, but he started early, and people weren't let in because they were already packed. So
Wow.
that's the story.
Wow. Yeah, a lot of people didn't know about it either. So.
Yeah, that's without people knowing about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
All right.
because there was hardly any word about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's amazing. I know that arena got a whole what 1,000,
3,300.
300. That's it.
No, 3,300.
Oh, I was gonna say I did about 4,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Camilla, what you got in conclusion? Hello.
Yeah, I can never find my mic when
Uh,
I have nothing. I have nothing coming up. I'll just be glad when all these events are over with for the summer, because it's been running us ragged. But and everybody's back in school, and uh getting back to regular. Um in the words of Miss Jacobs, hey, boots on the ground.
yeah,
Everybody.
on the
Yeah.
ground.
Right. Boots on the ground. That's my word. Boots on the ground.
Yeah. It was good information. Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Hey,
Ella,
Camilla.
Hey, Brother Barry.
what you say there, Ella Houston?
Yes, I was at Arnold's Block Club party. It was nice. I enjoyed myself. They had plenty of food, and
Yeah.
I ate like a pig. Uh, and it was good too. Everything was
Yeah.
nice. But I wasn't aware of the other festivals they had going on at Columbus Park.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I heard they had a lot of stuff going on, but I wasn't going. So,
You ate a lot, like you said, you ate a lot, but you had to walk off this block. You had to walk. You walked it off. I'm telling you, it's a month of Sundays to get on and off this block.
yeah,
But
it was a lot of walking.
Yeah.
yeah, there was some very long blocks down there. But again, it's that end of town because I think about it. Look, if you start at Lotus, then you got what's the next street between Lotus? Luna or something, or is it? Those blocks go all the way down to Lockwood. I mean, think about it. From Lockwood, it's 3 blocks in between. It's 2 more blocks in between Lockwood and Lotus. On the Madison side, when you go down Madison, so yeah, it's got that long. That long.
Well, I know. I'm blaming Arnold for my knees hurting. I'm gonna blame Arnold for that now.
Got the helicopter in and out of there. Right? Who we got
Thank
on
God.
I?
Thank God for Steve.
Yeah, I went down to the 5500 block. They had 3 block clubs going that day. We went down there and I grabbed a car to come back. Thank God for your car, cause I had to walk back down there if I didn't if I didn't get the car at the furthest end. All right, if we're on iPhone, who got on iPhone? What's that twin? Who you got? Anybody? Nobody? Somebody?
Oh, yeah, there is. I just thought about one thing. I'll be glad when CPS can get themselves together.
Yeah.
You know, I had a rough time uh getting all of the kids that I needed to get registered and enrolled in schools. And you know, CPS has done a lot of changing, a lot of transitioning. They have laid off a lot of people. A lot of people have changed positions. They do have an interim CEO right now. They're in a budget deficit trying to work out a new budget, whatever. And they got all new systems in place and a lot of people in place that don't know the processes.
Oh,
So just be
I
glad
heard,
when CPS get it together.
I heard the safe passage people have been laid off too. Or
I think it was the crossing. Well, some safe passage people did get laid off, but I think they let go of the crossing guards.
Wow.
what?
Yeah,
Wow.
they said that because they have safe passage people out there, that's enough. They don't need a lot of the crossing guards, so a lot of them got laid off as well.
Hmm.
My
Yeah.
Lord.
All right, y'all. I'm just gonna say, just like DeAndre always says, you know, at the end of the show, we didn't want to allow us at the seat at the table. We had to create our own, and that's what we call it. Welcome to Northwest Austin Council, and I hope to see y'all next weekend between hours of 6 to 8. And y'all take it easy, okay?
Thanks,
All right.
Steve.
Everybody have a safe week.
See you guys
Okay. Bye.
Friday. Good night,
Yes,
Friday.
Okay, good night.
Good night.
All right, y'all. Later.
Okay. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, all.
All right, Beard.
Take care, Steve. Have a good night.
You too.